Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of The Spooky Den with Lily and Jenn. And today we're having our Halloween episode. I know this will come out a couple of days after Halloween, but we are in the spooky Halloweeny mood. So we are talking Halloween tonight. We will talk about when it started, how it started, different traditions and things like that. And I hope you guys enjoy because this is going to be fun. We love Halloween, so we're all good over here.
Yeah.
And
Yes, Halloween is factually the best time of the year.
it is
Let's just
actually,
get that straight.
best holiday, best time of the year. Yep, I agree. So if you want to get into it, Lily's going to talk about how Halloween
Mhm.
started.
All right. So, so we'll start with how Halloween became Halloween. Originally it began as a Celtic festival known as Samhain. I know some people kind of butcher that name because it's spelled a little funny. Um, over
You mean Sam
2000.
Hain?
Yeah, yeah.
Sam Hain. Yeah.
Over 2,000 years ago, the Celtic people actually in Ireland, Britain, and northern France celebrated it. And usually it was celebrated on October 31st. Of course, we know this as Halloween. But it marked the end of the harvest and the start of winter. So it was a time that was very associated with death. The Celtics believed the boundary between the living and the dead blurred that night. Um, but spirits would, in that case, return or cause trouble. So people would light like bonfires and wear costumes and stuff to scare them away. So, of course, eventually, like all things, religion kind of takes over and reshapes it a little bit. So in the early 700s, the Catholic Church would come to establish All Saints' Days, and that would be on November 1st. So this is called All Hallows Eve. So, of course, that's how we start getting into the word Halloween. So it'd be called All Hallows, and the night before that, so technically what we know as Halloween would be All Hallows Eve. And that would eventually just kind of turn into a play on words and just be Halloween. So a lot of Samhain customs were mixed with Christian traditions that we know, again, shaped Halloween. And of course, by the time Halloween hit North America, mostly the Irish and the Scottish immigrants in the 1800s would have brought traditions like carving turnips and then, of course, carving pumpkins, telling ghost stories, and playing mischievous games. I'm sure some of you have played the Ouija board on Halloween. So that would be one of them. Then we have trick or treating. So trick or treating started to be invented kind of in the early 1900s, and Jen will dive into that.
Yeah. So trick or treating as a modern practice with widespread recognition began to emerge in the 1930s in the US and became really popular after World War II in the 50s, 1950s, that is. And the phrase trick or treat was first recorded around this time. It has its roots in older traditions like medieval souling, where the poor would beg for food in exchange for prayers for the dead, and Scottish and Irish guising, where costumed children would perform songs for treats.
That
In
sounds a little spooky.
it does it really does. the
Singing to
the
people for food. I don't know. That's what I
yeah,
make my dog do. Maybe
well
that's rude.
how about people begging for food and then being like, "Well, I'll pray for your dead."
Oh yeah.
Like
Absolutely
that's
fine. Yeah.
yeah. Um so the medieval souling in the Middle Ages, poor people would go door to door on All Souls Day, which is November 2nd, and offer soul cakes in exchange for prayers for the deceased. That's weird.
That is
Okay,
so strange.
so
But like
wait,
kind of
they
cool, I guess.
that's confusing. Um,
Oh.
Either way, whatever. Irish and Scottish guising immigrants brought traditions of guising to the U.S., where people would dress up and go door to door for food or money, often performing songs or rhymes. In North America, in the 20s and 30s, there are the first documented instances of trick or treating in the US, um, and the phrase trick or treat was recorded first around 1927. It was also popularized to discourage vandalism. Communities promoted trick or treating in the 30s as a way to discourage more dangerous pranks that were common during Halloween. The practice became a widespread national tradition after World War II, helped by the end of sugar rationing, the growth of suburbs, and marketing from candy makers.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, the tradition was further cemented in the 50s by popular culture, including the Peanuts comic strip and the Disney cartoon Trick or Treat, which helped popularize the phrase trick or treat. Go Disney.
Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat on Halloween. Um,
Yeah.
Also factually the best.
Mm-hmm. True. So, the origin of Halloween costumes stems from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people wore costumes to ward off spirits and confuse evil ghosts. During this time, the Celts believed the veil between the living and dead blurred, and the dead could return to the earth. To protect themselves, they dressed in costumes often made of animal heads and skins to blend in with wandering spirits.
That is
Yeah,
spooky.
that is spooky. In modern evolution, says the tradition evolved over centuries through practices like souling, mumming, costume dancing, and performances. Okay, there's different words for it in different cultures. And tradition was brought to America by Irish and Scottish immigrants and eventually became a more secular, community focused event with the modern emphasis on candy filled trick or treating. Some Halloween activities focused more on pranks and mischief, leading communities to organize events to promote safer, more family friendly activities.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
why we got the stupid trunk or treat shit.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's trunk
um,
or treat. Let's
yeah,
just leave candy out in our trunk bag.
yeah, do you
Oh
want to talk
my
about that
god.
now? Because I feel like you do.
Oh, yes, I do. Oh my gosh. All right. So, first of all, take me back to when the days of trick or treating were actually trick or treating, and you got to dress up and go door to door. I mean, you know that saying where ah, it's like, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, bring those days back because kids don't even go door to door anymore. Now, mind you, like the area that I live in is pretty thickly settled, like with neighborhoods, houses, and pretty decent walkable distance too. And I know there's, kids around in that neighborhood. And okay. And anyways, I was very excited, like as an adult, to hand out candy to kids and see all their costumes and
Yeah.
dress up, hand out candy, and have my dog help hand out candy, because
Mm-hmm.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope, no, nobody comes around here, and the another person I know who has a very young kid also was really excited to see kids come through, and she lives more down center town. And so you would think, because again, lots and lots of houses, there would be trick or treaters. Not
Mm-hmm.
a single one. Not one. Why? Because they're only doing trunk or treating everywhere. And also, they're doing mall treating. I don't even know what you call that.
The
Mall
the
trick or
mall or
treating.
mall trick or treat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And it's so upsetting to me because it's just taken the fun and the magic out of Halloween. Nobody decorates their houses anymore either.
Mm-hmm.
I loved to go drive down the street and look at all the fun Halloween costumes, or just walking down the street while you're trick or treating. So much fun. You get to see everybody's costumes, whether or not you were too scared to compliment them, or, maybe you were just scared of the costume because it was that freaking good. I don't
Yeah.
know. But it took the fun out of everything.
I know.
Let kids be kids. And oh gosh. I mean, some houses had full size candy bars. That
I
was the
know.
best. It
That
was the
were the best.
jackpot.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Those are the best. I don't know. Those were the rich houses because
Yeah.
there's no way we could afford it. Like a
Spending
hundred
a
full
dollar
size candy.
25 on a fucking candy bar. So you
Now
know
it's
how
close
many
to like
kids you gotta get?
yeah. Now it's close to like $200
Yeah.
each. $200 on candy bars? No thanks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
can't do that. But yeah,
Oh
I
my
100%
god.
agree. The um the fact that no trick or treaters come around here makes me so sad. We
I
get
know.
maybe 3 or 4 kids show up at the
Oh.
house, and it's so sad now. And oh my god, I'm so glad we grew up when we did, because
Yeah.
even though I don't know if we've mentioned this, but we are definitely an age difference here. But
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know if I don't know if anyone can tell by the way we act with each other, but like there's a little bit of an age gap. I'm a millennial and you're Gen Z, so
Mhm.
the fact that you remember some of the same stuff I remember from being a
Yes.
kid is like still cool. So um,
Halloween was very prominent for me in my earlier question mark years. So maybe up until I was about 8 or 9. So I mean, this will definitely give my age away, I think, possibly. Anyways, so when I was 8 or 9, so that's we're looking at 2010 and 2009,
mhm.
and it's just really sad because I feel like those are the last golden years of Halloween. And then it started tapering, and I noticed it start tapering a couple years after. So by the time 2012 came rolling around, yes, Halloween was still a thing. Yes, trick or treating, going door to door was still a thing, but it was starting to slow down. By that next year, 2013, I'm noticing less people at their houses. Sometimes, well, not even sometimes, I guess more houses started just putting out bowls of candy instead of sitting at the door or standing and waiting and, passing out to trick or treaters. And I've noticed less trick or treaters. And then by the time 2014 came around, there was almost really no trick or treaters. There was maybe a couple groups of kids of 4 to 6, and they're all kind of bundled together, walking together. um, we're going door to door to door to door, and nobody's answering. There's no candy left out in the bowls, so candy's starting to get scarce. There's nobody out. There's no decoration. No porch lights are on. And by 2015, again, there there was nothing. Um, and so at this point, I'm like, well, maybe I'm getting too old for this. And, I was like 14 at the time. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be trick or treating anymore. Maybe it's just over. I don't know. I just thought it was really weird that not even the younger generation of kids were trick or treating.
I
And
know.
then fast forward to 2017, 2018. At this point, there are no trick or treaters whatsoever. And all I'm hearing about is trunk or treat, trunk or treat. I'm like, shut the fuck up and then trunk or treat. And I'm like, I was all dressed up in my little witch costume. I had my pet rat on my shoulder. I was ready. I was ready. I had my bowl of candy to pass out to kids. Nope, no. We had maybe one kid come on actual Halloween day. All of the kids did their trunk or treating the week before.
Yeah,
I was so sad.
I know.
I
It's so
was so
disappointing.
sad.
I get that the trunk or treating is supposed to be a safer alternative than to go to random people's houses and accept candy from them, but it's not
Mm.
nearly as fun. It's
No.
so sad. You just
It
I don't
takes the
know.
uniqueness out of the holiday
Yeah.
because people are too scared. Yeah, there's going to be some messed up stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you know your neighborhood well enough or you feel confident in your neighborhood, you should still do something like that.
Yeah. Do you think maybe it's because people don't know their neighbors now because of, e-
Nobody gets
the
out. Everyone's on social
yeah.
media.
Yeah. And I feel like the year 2020, um we all know what happened that year.
Oh my god,
Kind of
yes.
put the nail in the coffin, as we should say. Um, so it put
That's
the
pretty clever.
nail in the coffin as far as Halloween traditions go for trick or treating, because everyone couldn't go out on Halloween. They officially canceled it, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just it was so sad because that was, I don't know, the official ending. I feel like,
Yeah, I feel like that's really what killed it.
yeah, I'm like,
I
there's
mean,
still,
I mean,
like I
yeah,
said,
it was.
every year we get one or two kids still, but
Yeah.
like since then it's only been the one or two kids that show up, and I'm like,
Buy
granted I
those
don't live.
poor little assholes some big ass candy bars, man.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people go the safer route and whatever, but I don't feel like it was unsafe really when I was going trick or treating. Okay,
Oh.
actually, okay, so I can't say that because my I went trick or treating most of the time with one of my best friends, and her mom had a station wagon, and she kept the back end of the station wagon open, and we sat with
Mhm.
our feet dangling off the back of the car as she drove us around.
That is pretty awesome, though.
And we had pillowcases full of candy. So we had pillowcases, and then we had other little bags or whatever. So we'd keep a few pieces of candy in the little bag and then go run up to the house and trick or treat, get the candy, and come back and then put it into our pillowcases so that nobody realized how much candy we had. But we
I
kept
love
the
it.
pillowcases in the car, and then we would just jump off the back of the car, run up to the house, get our thing, and run back. And it was so much fun. And it's one of the things I will always remember, is because we used to do it walking. We would just walk house to house or whatever. And then one year, I forget who actually said it, if it was my friend or her mom, and they were like, "Yeah, why don't you use the car? It'll be faster. You'll get more done." Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So then we realized that we could just have the back of the car open. She didn't drive very fast. Okay, don't get her wrong, or don't get me wrong.
Don't come
Like,
for her.
it's not like, yeah, don't come for her, because it's not like we were flying out of the back of the car. She drove
Yeah.
pretty slow, but it did take, seconds off of the walk. So I was like, it was pretty decent, and
Yeah.
we ended up getting so much candy those years. It was so fun. But
um,
yeah, I was like,
the
it's not
car
like it
thing
was
kind of,
unsafe though.
yeah, yeah. The car thing kind of brings me back to um my trick-or-treating days back when we were still living in Alaska. That was, I mean, a pretty big prominent part of my childhood because, being born and raised there, but Halloween was really interesting there because everything was so spaced out. Um, it was kind of difficult to go trick-or-treating without driving around. Um,
Oh yeah.
I remember one year I was so excited because I thought I had the coolest freaking costume. And at this time, this is when the fiber optics started getting really big. And I had what I called my princess dress. And it was this white dress. It was like all this tulle and like chiffon and stuff on it. And it had all these fiber optic lights underneath it. So it lit up. And so I was like, oh my God, it's my Cinderella dress. Because when she transforms, it kind of
Oh
lights
yeah.
up. Yeah. So I was so excited. I'm 7 or 8 at the time. And my mom's like, well, you got to put your winter coat on at the very least because it was snowing out. Not near blizzarding, but it could have been. um, and it was, I don't know, 15 degrees out.
Oh my
And
god.
I was like, yeah, I was like, no, no, I don't need a coat. I just want to wear my dress. And my mom's like, no, you have to wear a coat. You don't have to wear a hat, but you need a coat. And I was like, ugh, fine. So she was like, even if you decide you're gonna take it off in the car, fine, whatever, but you need to have it on when you go outside.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so we
feel like
went,
that's kind of ruins the whole magic of the costume anyways, like
yes, and
wearing a
that's why
coat.
I was so mad about it.
Yeah.
Um, but I couldn't control the weather. We had drove down to the native village, and we did a whole bunch of trick-or-treating around there. So that was really fun, and I got to see a couple of my friends because they were Alaskan natives, and they live down there. I keep in touch with a few of them today still, very close. Anyhow, and then we drove all the way down to Copper Center, and oh my God, the houses are so much more spread apart as far as because there's a community, like there's a lot more houses, but they're so much more spread apart. So we were just driving and driving and driving, basically. And of course, people try to conserve because at that time, trick or treating was still pretty prominent. So they got lots of trick or treaters. So I'd get 2 pieces of candy, and I'd have to drive 5-10 minutes to get to another house.
Yes.
Um, yeah. One moment I remember out of it though, which I think was pretty awesome. And even being so young, I saw the beauty in it. We had gone to this one old kind of almost abandoned looking apartment complex in Glen Ellen. And it was kind of down, not necessarily an alleyway, but a long drive that almost looked like an alleyway, but not quite the same vibe because I mean, we're very rural out there and there's like no city to it. And so we knocked on the door and we didn't know if anybody was going to come to the door because it took a while for them to get there. But when they opened the door, um, it was just one older man, and I guess he had just lost his wife not long ago, and he didn't ever get any trick-or-treaters. The past 3 or 4 years, he hadn't gotten any trick-or-treaters. And we were the
Oh.
only ones to show up that night. And I just remember him start crying. And
Oh.
even being like so young, that made me emotional.
Oh,
And
that's so sweet.
yeah, and so I was super empathetic and like compassionate, and then it made my mom start crying. So there's like 7-year-old me crying, my mom's crying, this old gentleman's crying, and it made
Oh.
his whole night. And so like we were so happy. By that time, we just called it quits to the night. We're like, I think we ended it on a good note.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
cute. Oh, poor
Yeah.
guy.
It took us 30 or 40 minutes to drive back to the cabin and settle in because, again, where we were, everything was so far apart. But yeah, I don't, still to this day, I mean, even being from that area and still visiting often, I don't even remember where that was. I just remember walking up the steps and then knocking. Yeah. I still think about it frequently. Every time this time of year rolls around, I think about it. And because he was older, I'm sure he passed away sometime when I was in my teens even. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. It's sad because if I knew who he was and, you know, I guess if he was still around, I would have definitely paid a visit, but
Yeah. The that reminds me of when I was God, I don't remember how old, 8 or 9 years old, trick or treating,
Mhm.
and went with my friend when we used to walk to each house. There was a particularly cold Halloween night. It was rainy and it was very spooky vibes, which was great. But we were
Mhm.
walking in the rain, and we ended up in her neighborhood walking up to this house, and the woman answers the door holding a black cat with her face all painted white, and she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, a witch." And she goes, "Would you like to come in?" And my friend and I just looked at each other and went, "No."
I don't know if I'd enter a house.
Like, "No, we're okay." And she's like, "Oh." And she goes, "I just figured a fellow witch would want to come in." And I was like, "No." "No, I'm good." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And then she was like talking to us about Halloween and witches and whatever for like 5 minutes straight, and we're just kind of like, okay,
You're like, okay, yeah, lady, you're fucking crazy.
this is at this point we didn't have their parents with us either, so I must have been 10 or 11 because I feel like they were like, oh, you can just go around the neighborhood, it's fine. And so, but we were there for probably 10 straight minutes because she just wouldn't let us leave or kept talking to us, and we felt rude being like, oh, we need to leave and taking off. We just sat there and listened to her talk for 10 minutes. And she did give us candy, but we were like, well, our mom's calling us. We gotta go. And she was like, oh, okay. And we kind of did that whole, yeah, we'll be there in a minute type of thing, like somebody was calling us from the distance or whatever. And
Yeah,
then, we gotta
totally done
go.
that.
Yeah, we gotta go. And just left. We were like, thank you so much. We'll see you next year or whatever. Never went back to that house again, ever. I was like, there's no
Don't
way I'm
blame
getting
you.
stuck in that
Hell no, I
situation.
wouldn't have.
It's like, there's no way
Danger,
I'm getting
danger.
stuck in that.
That's the kind of house I would ding dong ditch.
Well,
Also, back
she's
when ding dong
nice.
ditching was a thing.
I know, right? Well, she was a nice older lady. She's probably in her 50s at the time. But I was like, oh, okay, I'm out of there. We felt so rude just leaving and being like, yeah, we gotta go, and like taking off. So we were like, oh, and just sat
Okay,
there and
but
like
like that
listened to
was
her talk.
weird though.
Yeah,
I feel like you
well,
kind of get a free pass for that one.
yeah. But so glad my friend was with me because if I had been by myself, there's no way I would have stayed. I would have been like, nope, I'm out. But like
Yeah.
we kind of just both were like, okay, we didn't get our candy yet, so I don't know what's going on here. But we just sat and listened to her talk. Do you have a favorite costume you wore? Besides, was it the princessy one
Hmm. I don't know about a favorite one. Um,
as a child? Okay, I'd say before high school.
I think
Before high school.
I think my favorite one probably would have been the fiber optic one because I thought it was pretty cool that it lit up.
Mm.
However, I think the one that I the one that I was like most proud of and confident in and looking back at the photos, I'm like, "Oh my God." um was my Rainbow Dash costume.
Oh,
Um
that's cute. Yeah,
back
you
in
showed me the
like
picture, and I love that.
20 2013, 2012. I don't remember which year, but one of those. Anyways, I thought I was so cool. I was like, this costume, yeah, this is sick. I look pretty hot. I was
Yeah.
like, what? I'm like this little 10 or 11-year-old. Like
Oh my god.
scrawny and the wig was huge. And I thought the coolest part of my costume was the fact that I had wings on and then also a clip-on tail that goes on like, the back of your pants or whatever.
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, this is sick.
Yeah,
Like, like,
that's so funny. I don't remember. I don't remember putting a lot of effort into my costumes until I was older. Um,
mm-hmm.
so before high school, I think my favorite one was just um, because it was one of the original costumes was the Scream Ghostface Killer, and
Mm-hmm.
it was around when Scream was huge back then. It was before the sequels came out, so I think it was the Halloween. No, it might have been the Halloween after Scream 2 came out, but it was one of the original designs of
Yeah.
the Ghostface Killer costume. And that was pretty sick because after Scream 2 came out, as it got closer to Scream 3, they started changing the costumes. And there was one with blood that was inside a plastic thing that made you look like there was blood running down your face and things like that. And then
Oh.
they altered it a lot, but I had one of the original versions of it. And that was so friggin' cool. And I'm so mad because I thought I held on to it because it was one of my favorites for years. I think I wore it actually 2 years, but not 2 years in a row. I think it was when Scream 2 came out and then when Scream 3 came out. So,
Oh, wow.
but I held on to it forever. And I'm so mad because I can't find it now. And I think I actually donated it and I'm pissed.
Hold on.
Because I think it was in a bag because I remember just seeing a bag of costumes and being like, I'm never going to wear these again. And then donated the whole bag without going through it. And, um,
Yeah.
and I think it was in that bag. and I'm so mad at myself. But every other one I have not put that much effort into. Like, I was a clown one year, and I hate clowns. I literally hate clowns. The only clowns that I like are the creepified versions from the Terrifier,
Mhm.
and Twisty from American Horror Story, and Pennywise from It. The creepy, killer clowns from outer space. Those type of clowns are fine for me, but the actual clowns that are, goofing off and like being stupid, and I hate them so much.
I know, I need
And
to.
even though, okay, so my friend was like, why do you hate clowns so much but you love Charlie Chaplin? And I was like, okay, that's different because Charlie Chaplin was vaudeville, and I don't see vaudeville as a clown because he didn't have the makeup, the crazy hair, the
Yeah.
bright colored outfits. It's all bright colors and goofing off and whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I love Charlie Chaplin, but I hate clowns. So
And that, yeah,
yeah,
and
I don't
that's
know.
totally fair.
Yeah, but yeah, I was a clown one year. I basically store bought outfits for years, and then when I started getting into high school, I think I kind of veered away from that. But I don't even remember anything that I was in high school. I sent you the picture of it was not in high school actually. It was probably 2008. So was that a couple years after I graduated high school? It was the ferry that I had that I went to King Richard's Fair and got the wings and the
Yeah.
flower crown, and then I had the black and red corset and the black and red skirt, and then the fishnets and the boots, and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I love this costume. So that was like one of my favorites that I actually put together because I think everything came together red and black. It was super super cool looking. Um,
Mhm.
and then 2018, 2017, 2018, something like that, my favorite idea that I had was for the werewolf. Um, Somebody attacked by a werewolf who was mid transition. So I
Mm.
had the torn up clothes and I dyed my hair silverish. It doesn't really look silver in the pictures, but um, dyed my hair silverish, and then I um, was gonna put contacts in. I was gonna put one eye with a crazy looking contact, and then have my other eye just normal. And
Mhm.
then my friend freaked me out, and she sent me tons of articles about like putting those contacts in your eyes or whatever, and how it can damage your eyesight and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I
Yeah,
got
I
freaked
still
out.
think about that stuff to this day.
I got so freaked out that I was like, "Oh, never mind. I'm not doing the eye contacts. Forget that." Um, but I had the torn up clothes, and I was going to do fake blood all over the place and whatever. I got some around my mouth, but then when I went to go put it, I was like, I don't want to really ruin my clothes, and this is probably going to stain. And then I couldn't get the scratch marks right to look right with the blood. And I was like, you know what, forget it. So I kind of half assed it, but it was a cool idea. Like, I liked the idea of it, but my
Yeah.
execution was not good. So upset. I was like, whatever. It is what it is. It kind of just looks like I just got hit by a truck or something. But what? But whatever. Um, and then another one of my favorites is my gangster costume. So I had my 20s gangster female version, and I was like, this is hot. I look
Mhm.
so good in that. Um, and I that's one of my favorite costumes as an adult. And then my burlesque dancer and my Betty Boop costume. Those were all my favorite adult costumes. Oh, and my flapper. I forgot about the flapper, but
Mhm, mhm.
I love that flapper
That was
dress. So
cute. I love that dress.
me too. Uh, but yeah, those are my favorite costumes I've had as an adult. But like as a kid, I have that picture of me as a kid with a as a jack o' lantern, and I was
Mhm.
like, that's super cute. But I didn't put much thought into that. And in fact, I think my parents were just like, hey, you're going as a pumpkin. And I was like, okay, cool.
You're like,
So,
"Nice, alright."
yeah. Um, but yeah, do you have any other favorites as an adult that you did? Or
Not so much as an adult. I mean, I did do a Howl's Moving Castle costume one year, and then that was kind of like it. I didn't really
Mm-hmm.
do any costumes after that. I mean, how I'm not even doing any costumes this year. I hate to say it, but
Oh,
I know I just haven't had the time. But
yeah,
I might maybe I'll buy a pair of cat ears and draw something up on my face. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I've been a cat before. I've been a witch. I've been the devil. I was
Mhm.
Among Us. I was an Among Us guy a couple
Oh
years
my
ago.
gosh.
Um, yeah, and then I think what else? Oh, those were my favorites. I was pretty good as an adult doing these things, but this year I'm gonna be Jessica Jones from the Marvel's
Oh,
Defenders series. So um,
interesting.
yeah, so I am really mad because I cannot find my boots anywhere, and so I'm gonna have to use different boots. But um, everything else seems to be okay. So I guess whatever. It is what it is. But um, nobody's gonna know because it's literally just jeans, a tank top, a leather jacket, fingerless gloves, and boots. So and she has black hair, but I don't have money to go buy a wig or dye my hair, so it's whatever. It's just gonna be what it is, you know.
For sure. I
Maybe I could
gotcha.
find a filter that turns my hair black or something like that, and then just take
Oh, you
pictures
know
through
what?
the
You
head.
probably could.
Yeah,
There's so
but
many now.
I know it's crazy. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm going at. So nobody's gonna be, literally nobody's gonna be like, oh hey, you're Jessica Jones, but I'll know.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
my brother told me
feel
that
like
I should
that's the
walk
most
around with a
important
whiskey bottle.
thing.
You what?
I feel like that's the most important thing is just you being able to be like, yeah, this is what I am, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then just like
yeah.
have fun with it.
My brother told me I should walk around with a whiskey bottle and a shot glass, and I was like, okay, yeah, but I'm working all day, so I'm literally working 12:30 to closing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I
It's like,
can't
yeah,
really
that's
bring a
gonna go
whiskey
over
bottle to work.
so well with work.
Yeah, it is. I might be able to get away with a shot glass, but I was like the whiskey bottle. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah.
But nobody's gonna know anyways. So they'll be like, "Why do you have a shot glass?" Like I'd be like, "Oh, cause Jessica Jones she drinks like a fucking fish in water." But but yeah, nobody's gonna know, but I'll know, and that's all that matters. And I'll have cool
Mhm.
pictures, and that's fine. But but yeah, I'll try to post those pictures when I post the podcast episode. Oh, do you have any
Mhm.
favorite Halloween movies that you watch?
Oh. Oh, Scary Godmother. Mm, an
Oh my god.
OG, a classic. I love
That
Scary
is a
Godmother.
classic. Oh my god. I've only seen
Oh my
that
god.
once, and that was years ago.
Yes. Dude, I just rewatched it for like the very first time in, oh my God, I don't even know how many years, but probably around 10. I don't know. Anyways,
Hmm.
it's been a really long time.
Yeah.
And I only just caught the adult joke in it.
Oh, really?
So, yes. So, Skelly,
Hmm.
okay? And as soon as he came on screen, I didn't notice this when I was a kid. I
Uh
mean,
oh.
how could a kid notice this? Anyways, so the skeleton has a very flamboyant voice.
Hmm.
And so Scary Godmother at one point mentions he likes to stay in the closet. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my
I was
god,
like,
that's funny.
I get it. I I get it now.
That's like a double
Because-
joke too, because of
Yes.
skeletons being in the closet, and then like
Yes.
also
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. That's why I thought it was so clever. I was like, "Oh my God, that was perfect. Beautifully executed."
That's
Oh
so
my
funny.
God.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I love that. Um, yeah, I was gonna say mine's always gonna be Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's I can't say that's
Hmm.
Halloween only because I watch it from Halloween to Christmas. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I literally watch it once a week, every week, in between Halloween and Christmas. So um, yeah, that's one of my favorites. But my other favorite, I think, there's so many good ones. But
I guess another one that you could kind of consider Halloween that I like is Corpse Bride, and that one's been
yes,
like
I do love that.
one of my favorites for many years.
Yeah, mine too. It's so good. Oh God, Tim Burton. Sorry.
The
I love Tim
genius.
Burton. I know. Um, well, I don't want to get too much into scarier movies or whatever, but I would say Hocus Pocus, I think, is probably one of mine.
Mm.
I know that's kind of a basic bitch answer to say, but Hocus Pocus. God, what else? Basically, just horror movies in general.
Mm.
Any
Yeah.
scary horror movie, I love watching around Halloween. But if it's Halloween, actually Halloween themed, then I would say probably Hocus Pocus.
Vibes. I like that one. That one's
Um,
cute.
yeah. And then I don't know. I love watching Sweeney Todd around Halloween. Halloween, the movie Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street,
Mhm.
Friday the 13th. You know, Child's
Yeah,
Play.
they're classics.
Yeah, the classic ones. Those are fun to watch too. But um, last year I had a goal of watching every Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween and Friday the 13th before Halloween, starting October 1st and going through Halloween, obviously ending on the Halloween series. And I was like,
Hmm.
there's just too many movies. There's just way too many. And I did not accomplish that goal. But
An
I,
older one that I really liked that I feel like nobody's freaking watched. Maybe their dads. I don't know.
mm-hmm,
Um, it's an old like 80s movie, and it's
mm-hmm.
called, I think it's literally just called Toys. And that was some scary fucking shit, dude.
Oh,
All these toys, or I think it's called Toys Come Alive because they literally, obviously, they come alive. But
oh
they
wow.
basically get these guys get locked in a, I don't know what the fuck you call it. It almost kind of looks like a warehouse, but
Mm-hmm,
they get locked in there, and it's almost Five Nights at Freddy's before Five Nights at Freddy's was a thing.
mm-hmm.
Um, and so basically, all these small toys, literally, they just come alive and they start murdering these people. And the scene that I was most intrigued by was the monkey with the tambourines. And like,
Oh God.
yes, yes. And the way he killed like the dude, oh my God, it was so freaky. If you can find a clip on YouTube, or maybe I can find one, I'll send it to you because it's just fucking weird.
Yeah. Um, the monkey with the tambourine. You just reminded me of the movie The Monkey that I just saw a few months ago, based on a Stephen
How was
King's
that? Because
novel.
I was gonna
It was
watch that.
it was good. And I say that because it had a classic 80s feel to it, but the death scenes were way over dramatic and surprising too. I don't it's so hard to explain this, but so basically the toy monkey, it's a one of the monkeys that has a drum instead of the cymbals. Um, then it basically you turn the key, um, and it drums for a couple beats, and then it raises its paw, and the
Mm-hmm.
drumstick gets stuck up in the air, and that's the point where everyone's like, "Oh, it must be broken or whatever," because the arm won't go down. You can't force it down or anything. It's just stuck there, and so everyone
Mm-hmm.
thinks it's a broken toy, but uh, whoever I guess turns the key is protected from the evil. But when the hand comes down, that's when somebody dies. So a random person dies every time the hand comes down after it plays its little thing.
That's
Then
kind
the
of
hand comes down.
spooky.
Yeah. So but it comes down randomly. So it you don't know who's gonna die, when it's gonna happen, or anything. But the only thing is whoever turns the key is protected from it. So it's really cool. But there's I don't even want to go into it because it's spoilers, but oh my god, it's so funny. I was cracking up laughing at some of the death scenes because it was so over dramatic and over the top and just like
Just like
gore, like
redonkulous.
ridiculous gore. And I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." I can't believe I'm actually watching this and this is what's happening on screen. And but it was so good in the fact that it felt classic Stephen King, it felt classic 80s horror movie. And then the death scenes were super over dramatic and super gory and very surprising. And I actually jumped at one point, and I'm not like a jumper. Like jump scares don't usually get me, so I literally flinched and was like, "What the hell?" because of what happened. Because I was like expecting it to happen, but not the way it happened. So the way it happened, I was like, "Whoa!" And I was cracking up laughing, and I was like, "I can't even take this seriously." I can't take this
Yo.
seriously, but it was so funny. So every time somebody died, I was sitting there laughing, and my friend's looking at me like some psycho. I was like, I know,
That is freaking
I know, I
hilarious.
am. I'm a psycho. I get it. Um, but but it was good, and I was like, okay, this is actually a good movie, and I got a movie poster out of it, so I was like, cool, I'm good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I can't hang the movie poster up anywhere because I don't have anywhere to put it. They like won't can't attach it to my wall anyway unless I tape it. Maybe I could tape it to my wall over there, but I don't know. We'll see eventually. But
Oh, okay. So the name of the movie I'm talking about is called Demonic Toys. I just found it. And literally these things, I'll send you a photo of the cover of it. These things are so scary.
okay.
And it wasn't the monkey I had an infatuation with. It was the bear scene. Hold on. Now that I'm seeing a picture, everything's coming back to me. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah. Who let me watch this when I was a kid?
I feel like I have seen that, but
Yeah.
I don't remember
My dad
anything
thought it
about it
was
except for
funny.
that
Is
bear.
he thought it was funny for me to watch. That's why.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
After that, I did not like dolls.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I was
I
like,
don't
yeah,
blame
no. Not for me.
you. That's crazy. There's so many really funny old horror movies that I think about now, and I'm like, why was that even a thing? I remember watching one called Rubber, and it was about a killer tire. Yes, a killer tire. I said that right. Tire, like as in car. Um, but it was just a tire.
Bro,
um,
what?
yeah, and then I don't know, just crazy things. I don't know. There's an old horror movie my friend and I still laugh at because it wasn't hardly anyone has seen it, which is weird because I mentioned this movie to one of my coworkers the other day and she was like, "Yeah, I've seen that." And I was like, "No, you haven't. Nobody's seen this movie. You have not seen this movie." And she goes, "Yes, I have." And I was like, "No, you literally haven't. Like say something from the movie because that's the only way I'm going to believe you." And then she said something and I went, "No fucking way you saw this movie." Because it's like an independent, stupid little. I can't even tell you the plot because it doesn't make sense. It's literally, it didn't make sense at all. And then it had these stupid little one liners and everything. The only reason I saw it was because somebody I went to school with was in it. And he was like, "Oh, you need to watch it when it comes out." And I was like, "Okay, well, if you send me or give me a copy or whatever, I'll watch it." And he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then he never sent it to me, but he was like, "Oh, it's actually you can get it on Amazon," and sent me the Amazon list. So I bought it on Amazon,
Mm.
and it was like $5, and I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." Watched it, thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever, and I told him that, and he was like, "Yeah, well, I want to be an actor, so you know, I got to do these things." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but it's ridiculous. I'm sorry." um, and basically, it's called,
Oh.
and basically, the whole thing is this group of teenagers go for a drive. They're trying to get somewhere, and then they end up breaking down or just stopping for the night at a camp. And the camp has this weird time loop thing to it.
Mhm.
And every night, the people in the camp replay their deaths because there was a murderer in the camp who killed everyone. And these people are forced to replay their deaths every night. And so it's stuck on this one night time loop in like the 80s or whatever.
Mhm.
And it doesn't make any sense because the people who come in interact with the people and they talk to them and they see them. So I'm like, if they're really meant to be in this loop of this one night, they wouldn't be able to interact with these people.
Mhm.
And then the two people who are supposedly lured them there, they have this plan to do whatever. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me that it's supposed to be kind of a residual haunting type thing, but then these two people are completely conscious of what they're doing and luring people to the camp and have this whole plan hashed out. And I'm like, it doesn't make
Mhm.
sense. So it literally, my friend and I, we watched together for the first time and we were like, what the fuck did we just watch? And then we had like these stupid one liners. One of the girls, she eats a lot of food and then she comes out and she goes, I'm probably gonna take this part out of the podcast because it's funny, but I might just beat this out. But uh, she goes, "Man, I'm so full. I think my gonna explode." It's like
It's like something I was. Oh my god, that's fucking great, dude.
I was
I
like,
love that.
what the hell is that? But it's so funny because every once in a while when I need a deep laugh, I'm like, okay, I have that movie to go back on because
Mhm.
it's so funny. It's so dumb and so horrible that but I still don't believe my coworker actually watched it. There's no way because it was a random thing that I even watched it, and I watch a lot of horror movies and things like that.
Mhm.
So it's just happened to be I knew somebody who was in the movie, and that's how I ended up watching it. And yeah, it was just bad. But yeah, basically
That's funny though.
any horror movie I like watching around Halloween. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think Hocus Pocus is one of my favorites. I didn't even see Hocus Pocus 2 because I was supposed to see that with my friend, and she never has time to sit and watch a movie. So we
Wow.
were supposed to see that a few years ago, and she's like, I don't have time to watch it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I haven't seen that yet, but um,
Mm.
yeah, sad, sad face. But
Mhm.
I'll see it eventually. Maybe I'll. She's moving away in less than a month, and I'm like, oh, maybe when I go visit her down there where she's moving, um, then we can watch it. Then I don't know. So I was gonna end it on the legend of Jack, Stingy Jack
Ooh.
from the reason jack o' lanterns originated.
Okay,
So,
vibe. I love that.
all right, all right. So the jack o' lanterns origin story comes from an Irish folktale about Stingy Jack, a man who tricked the devil multiple times. When Jack died, he was denied entry into both heaven and hell. The devil gave him a burning coal to light his way, which Jack placed in a carved out turnip, becoming a ghostly figure doomed to wander the earth. Irish and Scottish immigrants brought this tradition to America, where they began carving pumpkins, which were more readily available and easier to carve than turnips. So, Jack famously outwitted the devil on multiple occasions. In one story, he trapped the devil in a tree by promising to remove a crucifix, and in another, he made a deal with the devil in exchange for a drink, only to put the coin, which the devil had transformed into, in his wallet next to a crucifix. Jack made two deals with the devil, one for a 10-year reprieve and another for his soul not to be claimed by the devil. After Jack died, God denied him heaven, and the devil, bound by his promise, did not let him into hell either. The devil gave Jack a burning coal to light his way through the dark world, which Jack placed inside a hollowed out turnip to make a lantern. The legend is born. So the Irish began carving scary faces into turnips, potatoes, and beets to place on their windowsills, hoping to frighten away the spirit of Stingy Jack and other evil spirits. This practice was carried to America by Irish immigrants. So in America, immigrants discovered that pumpkins were larger and easier to carve than the turnips they were used to. So they adopted pumpkins for their jack-o'-lanterns, a tradition that continues today. So I just thought that was interesting that the legend of Stingy Jack was the reason behind the jack-o'-lantern.
I like that
Um,
too. And I wonder if maybe that's why, you know, we have Jack the Pumpkin King.
ooh, yeah, actually, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes a lot of
Maybe,
sense.
yeah. Now that you said that, I was like, wow,
Hmm.
actually. Because
But that
all my
Jack is
life I was
not
like,
very
why the
stingy.
name Jack? I was like, Jack? Come on. And now I think I'm putting it together.
Well, Jack goes well with Sally, so there's that.
True. But now that makes me
Sally.
wonder why Sally's name is Sally.
Sally. Oh, I wonder if there is something deeper about that. Like maybe Tim Burton was like, "Oh, I'm going to use Jack, the Pumpkin King, because of Jack, Stingy Jack, or whatever." But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in for our amazing Halloween episode where we talked, of course, about Halloween and the Halloween traditions, how they came to be, what they are now, and some of our favorite memories. I'm I'm really hoping you guys had some fun, some laughs, maybe cried a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Reminiscing in the good days that are no longer.
Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a sad sight to see nowadays, but hopefully we can eventually come up with some new traditions and make Halloween even funner, especially for kids,
Yeah.
because they kind of get the the bad end of the stick, you know what I mean. Um,
Yeah.
but maybe one day we'll have some new traditions that'll be even more fun. So
Yeah,
um,
and not trunk or treat.
yeah, no, I hate trunk or treat too. I think. Oh. Anyways, yeah. So thank
Ditch
you guys
it.
for coming by. um, Thank you guys for coming by. We appreciate you listening. If you're on YouTube or Spotify, I'm trying to get to Apple Podcasts. I swear, I just can't figure it out, guys. I can't figure it out. But we do promise to have video soon. I know we keep saying that, but we're working on it. Trust me. And yeah, so we're glad you guys stopped by to listen, and we hope you guys have a wonderful week. We will see you slash hear you slash sorry, see you slash hear you next week. And if you made it this far, just go hit that subscribe, hit that like button, do the thing,
Mhm, mhm,
follow us, all
mhm.
that stuff. I'll probably be posting some pictures from our Halloween costumes on Instagram, so go follow us over there at Lily and Jenn Spooky Den. And
Woo!
yeah, and yeah, so thank you for coming by today, and have a wonderful Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone, because it's
Happy
tomorrow.
Halloween.
Or
Go play
technically it
that
was
Ouija board.
I was like, technically it was 2 days ago when this is posted, but I hope everyone had a happy Halloween at least. So yeah, and go play with that Ouija board. Ouija boards are fun. Everyone should use one. God, I'm gonna get sued. Uh, don't use a don't use a Ouija board unless you are experienced or
18 and up. 18 and up.
yeah, 18 and up. Yeah, yeah,
And you didn't hear it from us.
yeah. So stay away from Ouija boards. Anyways,
Honk,
thank you
honk.
all for coming by, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye.
Woo! Okay,